We are live. We are live. Welcome to college. Welcome to breaking news. Breaking news. Is disclosure finally happening? Can it be true? Are we going to learn the truth that we are not alone? Holy smokes. Welcome in to the studio that sits on the corner of Keith Jackson Parkway and Kurt Gowdy Avenue. Do not be afraid. Do not be afraid to become a legend with the comments and with the phone calls. This 99% of the time is a college football YouTube channel. But there is that 1%. There is that 1%. And tonight, the 1% is coming out. Before, wait, time out. Before you start hitting that unsubscribe, get a hold of yourself. Just relax. All right. Look, first of all, I've talked about this before, but I'm gonna let you know my stance on all of this. All right. Before we get into what Obama said, before we get into what Trump said, and I think, look, there are things that I agree. There are things that I agree about Obama. There are things that I agree about Trump. There are things that I disagree about Obama. There are things that I disagree about Trump. There are things that I agree about Clinton, disagree Bush, blah, 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 blah. This is not a political show in the sense that we're not going down that road, all right? But what I'm saying is, I think Trump made a mistake, but I think the mistake is going to play out. I think it's his most beautiful mistake that he made. I believe that Trump let it slip. You remember we did a part of a live show about Obama saying, just a little podcast. He said, aliens are real. And then he went on to say, but then he says that they're not at Area 51 unless there's a great grand conspiracy that the presidents don't know about. But he walked that back a little bit, right? He came out and said, I really meant that aliens are real because there's so many planets, so many galaxies, blah, blah, blah. But when Obama was president, he talked about how the United States have got data showing that there are things out there that we cannot explain. There are objects, something going on, moving with 90-degree turns at speeds that we can't match. Obama said that, all right? He said that in public. The people that work for him, Clapper, CIA, they've all said it. The people under Trump's first term all said it. George Bush Sr., George Bush, they've all hinted at all of this. Now, a lot of you are thinking, well, again, this is just all for made TV. It helps tourism. None of this is true. None of this is true. But Obama said something a few days ago, kind of walked it back, and then on an airplane, on Air Force One, when asked by Ducey, the guy from, I think he's from Fox, says to President Trump, what do you think about what Obama said about aliens being real? Trump said, Obama should not have said that. That's classified. I'm paraphrasing. What's classified? What is classified? What is classified? Well, Obama saying that aliens are real is classified. That is what Trump was talking. So Trump basically told everybody tonight that aliens are real. Because Trump said that Obama should not have given out classified information. Because that's the only thing Obama said, other than we are not keeping anything at Area 51. So, I don't care how and why it comes out. I care that it comes out. Now, hold on. Before you guys start hitting the unsubscribe button, bam, 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 hold on. Let me first give you my take on it. We're going to get to your comments. We're going to open up the phone lines. You can talk college football. I don't know how long we're going to be on. You all may leave. You all might leave the chat room like that. And in another 5 minutes, maybe only Expansion Crush is going to be in the chat room. That could happen. I don't know how, but just give me a moment here. Just let me explain my stance on this. And I've talked about this before. I do not know if there is another intelligence, human intelligence, an intelligence above human intelligence that are visiting this planet, or they are a part of this planet, and they've always been a part of this planet. I don't know. And I don't know if there's time traveling going on, a different dimension. I have no idea. I really don't have a position on that. What I do have a position on, and this goes back to my curiosity. I do this college football YouTube channel because I have an insatiable appetite, well, for food, but I'm curious. I'm always poking and prodding. I'm always asking questions. I drive everybody up the wall. I drive everybody up the wall. And I drive you all up the wall. I do. That's just my grading nature. The one thing that I've always been, there is a truth, there is a pillar of truth to all this, and that is the following. There are things going up in the sky, there are things going up in the near universe above us, and there are things happening in our waters that we cannot explain. That's the truth. That is not a false, that is the absolute truth. We don't know if it's atmosphere stuff going on. We don't know if there's balls of energy that we can't. Maybe it's just another layer of the solar wind that is causing certain objects to just whip on by us. And maybe somehow all this can be explained. But there are things happening that we don't know what's going on. The very best pilots in the world, we're talking LeBron James of basketball. We're talking Wayne Gretzky of hockey. We're talking Muhammad Ali of boxing. The very top fighter pilots. Captain Favor of the USS Nimitz. He was the leader. These guys are seeing things that they cannot explain. They're seeing objects zipping by them. Their radars are picking it up. These objects are unexplainable. They're unidentified aerial phenomenon. We cannot explain them. So, we know the story. We know a lot of these stories, right? Area 51, New Mexico, 1947. We know what happened off the coast of California in 2004, the Nimitz. There's a lot of other stories out there. What happened in Italy in 1933. 1933, there's a lot of documents in and around Mussolini knowing that something landed in the country of Italy, and we took whatever that object was, we took it after World War II. We brought it home somehow, some way. There are stories out there that there's a massive craft that we cannot move that is in the mountains of South Korea. There was just a report that there may be an object somewhere in the state of Oklahoma that we build a building over it. I don't know what is true, what is not true. But what we know to be true is there are objects that we cannot identify. We don't know what the hell's going on. We're not in total control of our airspace. The United States of America is not in total control of our airspace. We're not. And I do not believe it's our adversaries. It definitely is not Russia. If Russia had this technology, if they could fly craft where we couldn't do anything about it, they would not be having any problems in their stupid invasion of Ukraine. And I don't believe it's the Chinese. I don't believe it's the Communist Party in China, because they're still stealing our jet engine secrets. They still have to steal our property, our intellectual property. I don't know what's going on. But tonight, President Trump, and again, I do not know Hold on, everybody. President Trump has said the following. This just happened. We decided to come on live. Based on tremendous interest shown, I will be directing the Secretary of War and other relevant departments and agencies to begin the process of identifying and releasing government files related to alien and extraterrestrial life, unidentified area phenomena, and unidentified flying objects, and any and all other information connected to these highly complex but extremely interesting and important matters. God bless America. Now, should I take this serious? Should the country take this serious? There are classified and unclassified information. The government has had this, the federal government, bipartisanship, Democrats and Republicans have gotten together and they've created this Department of Aero in which they're supposed to be showing files of objects, of radar sightings, videos. If they're not classified, they're supposed to be reporting to us, the American people, every few months, and they haven't reported to us in a long time. Donald Trump's comment here is interesting because he doesn't just say, I will be directing the Secretary of War and other relevant departments and agencies to begin the process of identifying and releasing government files related to UAP and UFO. He doesn't say that. He says, I will be directing the Secretary of War and other relevant departments and agencies to begin the process of identifying and releasing government files related to alien and extraterrestrial life, unidentified area phenomena, and unidentified flying objects, and any other information connected to these highly complex but extremely interesting and important matters. Now, and I'm not trying to rip on Donald Trump here, but I don't know. I mean, I have ripped on Donald Trump. I ripped on Obama. I've ripped on everybody. And I've given them the flowers when I happen to agree with what they say. I don't know how much thought was put into this post. Was this really thought out? It caused a firestorm out there in national media when Donald Trump said Obama should not have said classified information. He should not have put it out there, that aliens are real. I don't believe Donald Trump knew, my speculation on my part, I do not believe that Donald Trump knew that Obama walked it back. So when Donald Trump said that Obama released classified information about aliens being real, I think Donald Trump unintentionally opened up the box. I think he ripped open the box. I think the truth slipped out. And if this post was done in a serious matter, if they went through a couple of drafts of this post, he's separating the unidentified area phenomena, things that we do not know. Unidentified flying objects, things that we do not know, from files related to alien and extraterrestrial life. It's not just the post. It's how the post was written. It's almost like an admittance. It's almost like, all right, we've got information here about alien, about extraterrestrial life, and we've got information about UAPs. We got information about UFOs. The difference between UAP and UFO, there really is not a difference other than UFO is an unidentified flying object. UAP is a much broader label. This is an extraordinary time, because besides all of this presidential talk about aliens, which has gone on for quite a while. I mean, again, George Bush Jr. mentioned a few things that were kind of, he said he can't talk about it. And I forget the guy's name, Clapper and Radcliffe, the Trump guy. I mean, they've come out and said there are things that we cannot explain. But our radar system, the ability for the United States to see things, to pick up on things that are happening in our atmosphere, in our near universe, the universe that sits on top of us. Our ability to capture objects has grown immensely. We are seeing things that we've never seen before because our ability to see has been growing and growing and growing. Different type of cameras, right? Different type of ability to see. We are seeing objects. According to our, we've got a lot of technology out there. I don't want to sound jingoistic. I don't want to say, rah, 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 United States, although I love my country. But our technology is still well and above and beyond everybody else. We can identify friendly and enemy's crafts a lot easier now than we've ever had before, because a Chinese fighter plane, a Russian fighter plane, the drones and everything, they give off a certain signature. Our radars bounce off of them in a certain way. They get out, we know their propulsion system based upon the temperature of the object. There is many different ways in which we can identify objects. We are not blind here in the United States. There are objects out there that are cold as ice. Our infrared cameras. We've got all this different technology, and we're looking at objects that, what the hell is this? It has no flaps. It has no wings. It doesn't have a propulsion system that we can even recognize. And then we've got the greatest cameras in the world. Again, I don't want to sound, USA number one, but we've got the greatest cameras in the world. But yet we're, at least the unclassified images and videos, the unclassified ones, we can't get a clear picture of these. We can't. Because for somehow, some way, the gravity around these crafts are being manipulated. You can't get a clear picture of these objects. Do you know who the first guy was to say that we can have an object, one of these non-human craft objects really close to us, but we still really can't see it? Do you know who the first person who said that? Bob Lazar. Bob Lazar, the guy that most of us thought was a crackpot. If you don't know who Bob Lazar is, look him up. He's the guy who said He worked at the place in Area 51, and he looked straight under a craft. They were able to get a craft 4 feet, 5 feet, 6 feet, 7 feet, 10 feet in the air. You can look right at it, and it's all blurry, or you can't see it. Are we finally going to get disclosure? Are we finally going to see some video that there's been the rumors out there? There are video out there that are completely conclusive. Like there are pilots flying by objects that have a cube within a circle that can stand stationary 30,000 feet in the air against big time wind, and it can just stay there for hours and hours and hours. We don't have drones that can do that. There are bright objects in the air that give out so much energy. We don't have anything that can do that for hours and hours and hours. The TikTok that traveled many, many miles within a half a second, according to Colonel Favor's radar, that would have the energy that it would take for that object to go that fast is more than like 100 nuclear bombs going off. We don't have this technology. Are we going to actually see the files? Are we going to actually see the videos? One last question. Rambling Ryan, Bob Lazar was a crackpot, but a broken clock is right twice a day. I think Lazar's still alive. Look, the Tic Tac of 2004 was, when that came out in 2019, Numbskull News, that was the time where I said, okay, because we had eyewitness account, we had radar account from the ship, and we had plane radar, fight. We had a bunch of things correlating, saying the same story, that we were following an object that we could not compete against, and it wasn't even close. Here's the question I've got, and then we're going to open up the phone lines. And I just want to hear what you guys got to say. If you don't have anything to say at all, we'll close up this live show. But there was no way that we were not going to do a live show on this potential historic event that may be happening. When Donald Trump, and again, this is Ryan Graves. If you don't know who Ryan Graves is, he has been a fighter pilot. He has seen these objects over the West Coast. The East Coast, off of Virginia. He saw them many, many times. He asked the question, is this disclosure? Is it actually happening? But my main question is this. Let's say there's going to be an honest attempt for the files, the government files. An honest attempt and result of releasing unidentifying, to release government files related to alien and extraterrestrial life, unidentified area phenomenon, and unidentified flying objects, and any and all other information connected to these highly complex but extremely interesting and important matters. If this actually happens, are we going to be able to see the goods? Like, are we only going to be able to see the stuff that truly is not classified? In other words, we've always believed that any sitting president, I should not say we all, some people believe that a president can declassify anything he wants. The president can declassify anything he wants. Can President Trump actually release files that are now classified, alien and extraterrestrial life, files that are now classified? Can he actually release, can he actually say, I pronounce these classified files declassified? As long as they hide the information in these files and videos, if they hide the information on how our military was able to capture these videos, because we don't want our enemies to completely understand everything we're doing, are we going to see the good stuff? Or are we going to see just more of, well, we see a little dot over here, it's a grainy video? Or are we actually going to see the stuff that no one is going to be able to deny? Are we going to see, and this is where I am most interested in, Ed Woody says no. That crop circles, I don't think, are a part of this. Are we going to actually see files, videos, pictures, logs of crash retrievals? Because we've had people come out of the dark. We've had people come out and say, yes, I've been a part. We know we picked up an egg, this big white egg. We've had people come out and talk about it. Crash retrievals. Retrievals of non-human craft. Are we going to be able to, if that actually has happened and it's in files and it's been logged, there's pictures and videos, are we going to be able to see, that? Because I think that is going to be what makes everything unravel. For those who are trying to keep this a secret, and the United States government and all the other governments have been a part of it, because it's been a race war, a Cold War. Russia, China, the United States, if this is all real, it's been a race to grab that technology and to be able to use that technology. The crash retrieval part of this, I think, is something that everybody would be able to understand. If you see a video out there of an object and it's showing on the radar that it's going 2,000 miles per hour or whatever, some of us are not going to be able to really relate to it. But if you've got video and pictures of an examination of a crash retrieval, if you got a way to tell the story of those who walk into a craft, a non-human craft, that looks to be 40 feet long, but once you walk into the craft, it looks like it's 3 football fields long. If you have any picture, any video of those crash retrievals, that's going to blow the doors wide open. Don Scruggs, my nephew, is a fighter pilot. I'll ask him and get back to you. All right. So let me thank you, Expansion Crush. Appreciate it. Let me, Robert Stack Flugard. Let me open up the phone lines. If nobody wants to call in, that's fine. If you want to talk college football, that's fine. 763-260-1333. 763-260-1333. Give me a call. Give me a call if you want. If you don't want to call in, or if you want to call in and say, Greg, you're nuts, I'm all about that as well. That is absolutely, I'm fine with people saying I'm absolutely nuts.
call from.
Numbskull News.
Ooh, Numbskull News is on the line. The floor is yours. Thanks for calling, sir. I appreciate it. What do you think, sir?
Well, I thought I'd better get a phone call in before the invasion happened.
Sounds like you're not a believer.
No, I'm not. I think, the distances are too great for aliens, and, it's not like they're going to see Lucy and come running. I will say this. What I do believe, mankind has been on this planet for around 200 to 300,000 years. And, of course, so many scientists they think so much of themselves. They're a lot of pride, that we are the first human civilization to get to this level after 10,000 years is kind of stupid. There have been a lot of cataclysms, like right after the Ice Age, there's Young Adrias, where so many animal species were wiped out. Humans were almost wiped out. Science knows this. So what existed before that? And would there be anything left of that civilization? Maybe. Maybe that's what we're seeing. Humans that have been here a long time, stay hidden, and they got some tech. I would believe that over aliens.
Okay. Well,
I think that'd be more fascinating.
There is a belief that by some that these aliens are not traveling great distances. They're actually located in our deepest part of the oceans that we can't get to. There is that theory out there.
Or Antarctica in a pyramid buried under ice.
Yep. But there is serious people, a lot of serious people who have come out and said there are things that we just can't explain. And our radars are picking up crazy things. Our pilots are seeing things. We can't explain them. So it's, I don't know, sir.
But the crazy thing, because there was I wish I could remember this scientist's name. He, it's called his name is Fermi. He came up with the Fermi paradox, basically saying, well, if there's life everywhere and intelligent life everywhere, where in the hell are they?
Yes.
Because we've been looking, and we found, and we see no signs of life out there. It's just weird that we see weird stuff here on our planet, but we haven't seen anything weird out there in the universe. We haven't seen a star destroyer or some Ferengi ship travel through. We've seen none of that, even on accident. We've been looking for Dyson spheres. We haven't found them. I got a lot of interest in this kind of stuff, just like you, Greg.
Yep.
But I have a lot of doubts about aliens or any civilization being able to get to the level where they're traversing the galaxy or the universe, which is the distances are just absurd.
Yeah, they are. They are.
And if you think of our own civilization, I love Star Trek. Are we ever going to get to a place where we don't need money and there's not greed? We solve war and poverty.
Yeah.
No, because we don't care about each other enough, and we never will. That's just what being human is. We have our groups that we love, and that's about as good as it's going to get. And that's not enough to traverse the galaxy.
But let me ask you a question.
We'll kill each other before that.
All right, let me ask you a question. If this stuff gets released, though, if it gets released, you will look at it from a clear mind, right? A clear eye, correct?
Oh, I'll look at it.
Yep.
Now, you know me, I kind of go against the grain on stuff, but I will give it a real look.
Yep. All right.
I always have. I need to see videos. All I'm saying, Greg.
Yeah.
I need to see the video.
Yep.
Can I get an ungrainy picture of one of these things? That's all I'm saying. Can I get something? Something?
It'd be nice to see one of those.
Yeah. Flying, what is that? Black licorice Tic Tac is not good enough.
All right. I appreciate it, Numbskull News.
All right. You have a good night, Greg.
You got it, buddy.
Bye.
For people are using this, people are throwing elbows here. Throwing elbows. Hold on.
Call from
Destry the Pirate.
Destry the Pirate, can you hold on for just a moment, please?
Yes, sir.
I appreciate it so very much. We've got Old Dad. Aliens are more likely than Florida State winning in an away game. Holy smokes. Seminole. My goodness, come on. Florida State's going to win some road games this year. I feel it in my bones. The Aliens, Stephen Clark, the Aliens are keeping Minnesota teams from winning championships. Wow. A lot of elbows are being thrown. Destry the Pirate, thanks for calling. The floor is yours.
Long-time listener, first-time caller. Never in a million years did I think I would be calling about this topic instead of realignment, but here we are.
Here we are. And by the way, though, I've always said this channel is a 99% college football channel, 1% this stuff. Even in my even on my X account, if you read it here, Greg Flugar, unidentified Flugarian object, host of YouTube channel. So this is not too far out of the park for this channel. Go ahead, sir. I'm interested to see what you have to say.
Well, I've sent you some links and different breaking news items on this through the years. I got on board with you a little bit before the Colorado domino fell. So I know you are definitely, you're the best in the business when it comes to realignment. And you've proven it time and time again, and it's really a pleasure to be able to follow year round. And I would just say about this that, you know, I've been following it quite a bit. There's been a lot of awfully smart people and people in high positions who have leaked out things from time to time and occasionally came out in public saying there's something to this.
Yeah.
And I just don't think there would be that many, you know, high-ranking military people and intelligence community people talking about this stuff and putting their names out there unless there was something to it. It just makes them look too stupid. And a lot of these people, you know, have serious professional careers on the line. So that's always held a lot of weight with me.
Mm-hmm.
But I just want to say that a couple of things have fallen into line in place the last few weeks. About a week ago, Laura Trump, who's Eric Trump's wife, came out and said she thinks that the president is going to that he's basically waiting for the right time to give a speech on it. He's had it in the docket, ready to roll with it. And then I think President Obama kind of slipped his tongue a little bit in the way that he, then I think Trump really put his foot in his mouth. And it's just, there's too much, there's a lot of momentum that's been building up on this. You know, around a couple months ago, we had a film, a documentary film came out, and 34, high-ranking officials, including Rubio, were on that, saying there's something to it. So keep up the good work, and more importantly than all of this, let's go East Carolina Pirates. How about that?
Okay, East Carolina Pirates. They're going to be one of the favorites in the American this year. All right, appreciate it. Great call. Great call. Great call. Great call. Thank you, sir.
From
Jose, fight on.
Jose, fight on. The floor is yours.
They're going, go for Godfather. Exciting times we're living in, isn't it?
Yes, and you guys, did you see the new Mount Rushmore that is being proposed at the White House? I got it up on the screen here. You've got Lincoln on the right. I think that's Jefferson. The logo of the show, My Beautiful Face, and the gray alien in the middle. So we'll see if that happens, ladies and gentlemen. We'll see if that happens. And for those idiots out there who do not understand a joke, that was a joke. Go ahead, fight on. Jose, go ahead. I'm interested to hear what you got to say.
I just had a lot of things come to mind, and I was like, what's appropriate to even bring up here on a live show? Part of it is it keeps my YouTube keeps buffering. I don't know if the aliens are blocking me, and I just can't see what's going on. And so I was like, well, all I can do is read the comments. Let me just call in and see if I missed anything. There's a lot of just along with college football, there's a lot of like alien stuff that comes up on my YouTube algorithm, and I've seen something come up a day or two ago before Obama said what he said. I think it was the day before that Ivanka had found, that's the daughter, right, of Trump, I think, that one of the daughters or the daughter had seen a prepared speech that Trump was going to give, and that she went and approached Eric, his son, one of his sons, about it, and he said he wasn't aware.
I guess it's the ex-wife, Stormy Cyclone, is saying, and that's what our previous caller just mentioned, Laura Trump.
Okay.
Laura Trump.
Yeah. So it seems like maybe that Obama tried to beat him to the punch, and maybe throw something out there. But the other thing I was thinking about was that the old Coast to Coast shows, Art Bell, that I listened to on long drives.
Yes.
Yeah. He was saying that because, Barack had said that if there are aliens, they're not in Area 51, that he hadn't seen them.
Yep.
Yeah, there was this one guy, and I can't, Schneider, that they were doing some kind of underground digging, something in New Mexico, Dulce. Man, I can't remember what it is now. It was so many years ago that I went down that rabbit hole, and he lost fingers. Like they pushed the wrong button on the elevator, and they went too far down, and that there was grays. And they fired lasers at them, and he lost 2 fingers, and then he started going around doing speeches, telling people, trying to raise awareness, and then he came up missing. But it's just fascinating what people have seen and what they can or can't say, and and if it's time to maybe have some type of soft disclosure before down the road, people are mentally prepared. You can't just shock them all at once. You have to ease people into certain things, and then some will never believe it anyways.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's interesting. First, college football and NIL, and now this. It's just gets wilder and wilder every day.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Never a dull moment.
If people really like, there's like the Italy one in 1933. Go ahead and people Google that one. I mean, there is a lot of old documents that talk about how Italy sent their best scientists to look at this craft, and the guy went back to Mussolini and said, "Yeah, this is not from a human." And the United States picked up on that, and when the World War II, United States went to this craft and they somehow got it back to the United States. There is a lot of there's Russia. Russia has a lot of documents that were opened up and released to George Knapp when the Berlin Wall came down, and there was perestroika for a moment in Russia. Some documents got out of there showing how Russia was doing their own crash retrievals and trying to figure out what these objects were and everything. So it goes back quite a while, for decades, before there was, go ahead.
Yeah, Admiral Byrd, after World War II, I think originally it was Operation Paperclip, where they were trying to go around and round up Nazis. They, traced some down to Argentina, and then they figured some fled to Antarctica. And the craft that were coming up, they just decimated our Navy fleet. We had to retreat, and then they had to do Operation High Jump, which was to go back and see what the hell was going on down there. But yeah, it's just, there's documented stuff that, Admiral Byrd, like an NDA, being in the military, there's certain things he could never disclose until after he passed away. He wrote a book and had told his son to publish it after his passing. But yeah, there's just a lot of interesting stuff out there that people, just don't know about. Yeah. Or, if they do know about it, they're like, oh, this is some good fiction. I'll find something better to watch on TV. Yeah.
But,
but all right. Thank you for your time. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. That's fine. Thank you for the call, sir.
Yeah, my pleasure. Thank you.
Got it.
Fight on.
Fight on. What's interesting is I got a feeling that if the files come out and everything, when it starts coming out, it'll probably take a year or two if it comes out at all. But I think people are going to be stunned at the amount of information the government has. Like, if this has all been fake, the government has spent a lot of time filing pictures and videos and logs and testimonials and interviews. I mean, we've had nuclear sites that have been shut down because, and we believe that because there's an object in the air that has shut down our nuke sites. We have had our smartest scientists have testified to all of this. I mean, we have spent a lot of money, a lot of resources dealing with all this. And if it's all of it's fake, wow, that's a story in itself. I guess we're getting a lot of buffering. I apologize, everybody. So let me say this. We normally don't do this type of show. So I do appreciate everybody coming on in and having a good time with it. I do want to get back to something here. I do want to talk about conference realignment for a moment, if that's okay. Let me get to something here. Thank you, OPD Don. We've got a massive super chat. Holy smokes. This is for fuel for the aliens' aircraft to keep them afloat, because Lord knows we have enough of them crashing. Hell, the aliens should take lessons from all those realignment planes flying somehow for years without crashing, without landing. Thank you, OPD Don. I appreciate it. Thank you for the $25 holler. Thank you, very kind, sir. There are a lot of people who believe that some of these are not crashes. They're just landing to give us more technology. That's a theory. I don't know. I'm just putting it out there. But thank you, OPD Don. I appreciate your incredible generosity. Your incredible kindness. Thank you, sir. I just want to go back to conference realignment for a second. I know what comes with the territory of having a college football YouTube channel. We have a lot of fun. I do not take myself too seriously. I call myself the re-elected mayor of Loserville City. I am an absolute nobody. I've said that. When the Los Angeles Times did an article on me, it was called The Nobody. I'm a nobody. That was the title of the article. There is a lot of people out there that take themselves way too seriously. I'm not going to be able to do anything about that. But I am going to throw an elbow or two once in a while, because there are people who constantly misrepresent what we say here at Peek Around the Corner. They do it constantly. They don't stop. And it gets spread around and it gets shown to me by a lot of you all. I got pictures of people saying things that say I say, and I'm not saying those things. And then I've got a handful of you all, very good people, natured people, saying, Greg, you got to be more careful. Greg, you got to be more careful. How much more careful that I could possibly be? I can't be more careful. I'm not going to change it up. During the last report that we had, I gave you information about Utah and Big Ten entities. They've talked. I don't know how unique it is. I don't know if the Big Ten has talked to every Big 12 school. I don't know. I said that over and over and over and over and over and over and over again. I also said that Utah going to Big Ten, I have no idea. That is not what we are reporting. How many times do I have to say it? How many times do I have to say it? Nothing is done. Nothing is settled. We believe that Utah is a serious candidate. I have them on the I have them on the fourth tier of candidates in the Big Ten. The fourth tier. The fourth tier. And you got people saying Utah to the Big Ten is a fake story that Greg is pushing. I got people saying that, Greg, you got to be more careful. What the hell are you talking about? Honestly. Grow up. I am not reporting. This happens constantly. I don't know if these people are so stupid that they don't understand what is being said to them, or they just feel the need to misrepresent this channel. And then to say that I push false stories. There are so many stories that I do not even talk about because I check them over and over and over again, and I won't go with it unless I get them bottled up with people that I've trusted for years. A lot of you have sent me stories that I don't go with because I don't find any credibility in them. Texas A&M want to go to the Big Ten. I find no credibility in that. Vanderbilt going to the Big Ten. I find no credibility in that. We don't even believe that California has been one of the top targets of the Big Ten. Sorry, that's just the information, the credible. I don't go. Ladies and gentlemen, I spend so much time before I report something to make sure it is as airtight as possible. And when I report it clearly. In fact, I go over it again and again and again and again, and people get upset that I go over it again and again and again and again because I'm being as clear as possible. We did not report Utah to the Big Ten. We didn't say that. Sorry, not sorry. We did not report that. We do believe that Utah is a serious candidate for the Big Ten. And I've got a lot of reasons why, and a lot of them that I've explained to you. Some of them I've kept it in my holster. There are other serious candidates for the Big Ten. Utah is one of them. That is what we clearly have said. We have been saying this for about 18 months. We said it before Brett McMurphy said it on Staples and Wasserman. Sorry, not sorry. I'm not pushing anybody's stories. We did not push a false story when we talked about the USC and the Oregon and Washington. I mean, I don't know what to say, guys. You've got people out there. Look, we don't have all the answers at Peek Around the Corner. We don't even have all the questions. There's so many different variables out there. We've said this over and over again. You've got people out there saying, listen to me, I'm the serious guy, I'm the intellectual. I don't have a track record of getting anything right, but listen to me, I'm the serious one. Greg is a grifter, Greg is pushing stuff. Hey, bozo, listen to me. I've been doing this for over a decade. I've got a track record that is because of the work I put into it. Not because I sit there and I think I'm a genius, because I'm not the brightest bulb in the refrigerator. I just happen to know where every refrigerator is in every place I walk into. Because I am the original Minnesota moron, I work at it. And doors open up to me. I'm not pontificating with no track record whatsoever in bullying people just because they disagreed with me. I'm not some jackwagon that bully people because they disagree with me in the chat room or they give me a call. And just because I didn't get bullied by you, you jackwagon, because you wanted to control the content of this channel, the content of my X account, and I would not allow you to do that. You have to go off on me. You have to misrepresent everything I say on this channel. Let me give you a piece of advice. Being pulled around by your nose, by genetics, isn't something to be proud of. You understand what I'm saying, muchacho? This is college football's Peek Around the Corner. We do not have all the answers. We don't even have all the questions. But we do not push fake stories. We did not report Utah to the Big Ten. So you either got to figure out how to be able to comprehend, or you got to quit lying about our program. All right. Old Dad, thank you. I appreciate it. Culver's marketing department said you misrepresented how tasty their cheeseburger was. I did. That was gross. That was absolutely gross. That was absolutely disgusting. All right. I do apologize for going off a little bit there. Look, the little general is in Mexico. I got a sister taking care of my mother right now. My mother turns 93 years old in 3 hours from now. 93 years old. And the wife turns 54 years old 3 hours from now. So, a lot of people aging in my house, but not me. I stay the same age every single day. All right, guys, I appreciate you coming on in here. We've talked an hour about the breaking news. Again, the new Mount Rushmore, Lincoln, the Gray Alien, Thomas Jefferson, and yours truly, the guy who takes himself so seriously. Thank you, Ryan Thomas. Appreciate it. Thank you for the $2 holler. What's a jackwagon? A kind word. What's a jackwagon? A jackwagon is a jack bleep. Just saying in a way that it won't get me in trouble. All right, guys, I appreciate it. Thank you for all joining us. Until next time, tomorrow we'll be talking about college football once again. Until next time, from all of us at PATC, to all of you, please, y'all take great care of each other. Thank you so